Welcome, everybody, to a new episode of the self-improvement section where self-improvement meets commercial real estate. I'm here, it's Aurélien, the mindful investor. I'm here with Logan, and we're going to discuss today
Getting started in commercial.
how to start in commercial.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I put some thoughts down and I really look forward to this conversation. I know for myself, and Logan and I met through Bigger Pockets, and I know that one of the things I did initially was look at all the conversations and join those conversations on Bigger Pockets,
Mhm.
and I would make myself a little list of vocabulary because learning a new job is like learning invest in commercial. It's like learning a new language. So you want to. And I'm a language teacher by training. That's what I used to do before. So you want to gain some vocabulary so that you can speak intelligently about
Mhm.
properties and the industry in general. So I think one of the first things I did, one of the first steps, is to join some conversations. So I did it through
Mhm.
Bigger Pockets, and then Logan and I started this group that we have. We have a mastermind, and we have an interview every month through our group. And the idea is to join conversations and discuss commercial real estate. We've had several guests. We've had industrial, self storage, triple net leases, single tenant, and the whole idea is that during networking, after we have a speaker or after mastermind, we
Mhm.
discuss commercial real estate. We talk about deals, we talk about the industry. So I
Mhm.
think all those conversations are key.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And when you're going through those, I think there's a tendency, uh, if you're networking with folks, there's a tendency to want to pretend like a fake it till you make it type of thing. But you really owe it to yourself early on, if you're not in commercial real estate yet, to just be 100% open with everybody, because it's never ceases to amaze me how open and willing to help people are. If you just say, hey, look, I'm new to this. I've invested here, or maybe I haven't invested at all, but I'm looking to invest in real estate and I like commercial and I'd like to invest in a commercial. Can you help me out? And people are so much more willing to do that than if you kind of try to fake it. Because if you try to fake it, at some point someone's going to be like, wait, what are you talking about? Just come out and be open about it when you're networking and you're doing that. And just say, hey, look, I'm looking to grow. Because I mean, I do every day. I'm a commercial real estate broker, and I run into investors that have a new way of doing something, and it's like, wow, that's pretty interesting. I never thought about that. And you always have something to learn. And that's the first thing I put down was if you're getting involved in commercial real estate, you want to get started, is to learn. You're right, the language, learn the language behind it. Talk to some lenders and learn the different financing that comes behind this. Talk to some brokers and learn different deal structures, how deals get put together in the commercial world, because it's all a little bit different than the residential world. And even inside of the subsections of commercial real estate, there can be differences. So learn as much as you can. That's for sure.
Yeah, in terms of learning, I know for myself some books were really key. uh, the Real Estate Game is one of them,
Mhm.
by Purdue. The Confessions of a Real Estate Investor,
Mhm.
whereas another book, and then Crushing It in
Mhm.
Apartment Buildings and Commercial Real Estate was a
Yeah.
third book that I found really good at introducing oneself to commercial real estate. And it's interesting to notice, and it's one of the conversations we've had in the group. Um, with Chad Griffiths, there are not so many books about industrial, for example. So
Mhm.
then you have to go into YouTube videos, and
Mhm.
that's where you're gonna gain your knowledge. So listen to
Absolutely.
podcasts, go to YouTube, and like Logan was saying, educate yourself.
Mhm.
And the other key element I find is if you can find yourself a mentor, I find having
Mhm.
a mentor is really helpful. Saves time, can save costly mistakes,
Mhm.
and it's a good way to have somebody to turn to when when you're facing issues. And I know for myself, one of the challenges can be to identify a niche, an area to focus on. And but once you've identified an area, try to find somebody in that area who maybe is retiring, and make sure you don't take too much of their time, and ask for a conversation, once a month, pick their brain, come up with a few narrow focused questions, and then get your guidance through those conversations you can have with a mentor.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love the idea of picking a niche. I think it's critical because, there are specific there's specific language inside of those niches. There are specific industry standards inside of those niches. And it's like, I mean, whether you're selling, airplanes or paper clips, you can make a lot of money doing whatever you do. And you'll hear a lot of folks in the industry say that, whether you're in single family houses or you buy the buildings that Walmart's in, it doesn't matter. You can make a lot of money doing it. Just learn that niche really well, understand it like the back of your hand, and you're going to be so much better off. Plus, trying to narrow in on a niche, even while you're learning, even if that's not the niche you're going to invest in, makes it easier. Instead of I'm trying to learn lease structures for industrial while also learning how to finance a mobile home park while also learning this. If you focus in just on the mobile home park side of it and you say, I'm going to learn everything there is to learn about mobile home parks, maybe that takes you 2-3 months to really deep dive into that. But, on the back end of it, you may realize, hey, look, maybe that's not for me now, but I've learned, now I can apply that somewhere else. And then the next thing you learn is maybe that didn't work out for me, but I want to learn about industrial now. And some of those things carry over. And so I would definitely choose a niche, not just from an investment standpoint, but from a learning standpoint to start with one and really dive into that. If you want to get started and you actually want to invest, and you're saying, look, I've done some research, I've done a lot of education, I haven't invested yet, but now it's time to pull the trigger, I'm ready to go. If you're still nervous about pulling the trigger, we've talked about it on the podcast before, we've talked about it in these groups, is either find a partner or find someone whose deal you can invest in. Those are two great ways to get started. So if you've got cash and you want to invest in industrial, find someone who invests in industrial and go partner with them. If you don't have cash, but you have the know-how and the knowledge, go try to find someone with cash and say, hey, I really understand this niche. I've been studying it for X amount of, days, weeks, months, years. I have this mentor, really I mentioned a mentor. I have this mentor that's helping coach me through this. We found a great deal. Here's what it looks like, and go get the cash. So either investing in someone's deal or finding a partner are two great ways. If you're at that point where you're ready to go, that's definitely what I would suggest.
Yeah. And yeah, that's a great idea. And you mentioned back of the envelope. It's very important also, I find, and two of my mentors have insisted on this, to look at deals on a regular basis. That's the way you're going to find a deal, but it's also the way you can train your eye to look at deals and find good opportunities.
Yep.
And usually, a good deal is going to be poorly advertised. Sometimes, one of the tricks of Ash Patel is look for deals that are advertised by residential brokers, because they won't know how to advertise properly a commercial deal, and that can be a lead for a great source of deals. And yeah, and I try to do back of the envelopes, so doing the numbers on deals in a repeated way, so that I get used to it and that I can analyze a deal very quickly, so that if I identify an opportunity, I can take action quickly on it. So
Yeah.
I think that's also important.
Absolutely. And the math behind these is simple math. It's all addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and it's just that being applied the same way over and over again. So if you're not a math person, don't freak out. It's not that complex. When you are running the math on, a mortgage, let's say, there are calculators. Grab your mortgage calculator online, an app or whatever, and calculate that. But then you're just subtracting out the costs of the property, taking a look at what you think you can rent it for and going from there. But yeah, get used to running the numbers. If you haven't done it yet, learn how to do it. There's 1,000 videos out there. We should do one actually at some point. We'll do a video on running the numbers on a property. But yeah, I mean, it's the first time you do it, it might be daunting. And then to your point, really, as you do it time and time again, it gets very, very quick. And you can get to the point where back of the napkin, you just pull out your phone calculator and yeah, that's not a good deal. Well, I need to call that guy. That's a good deal. So yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah, and I think overall it takes some discipline. The discipline to look at deals on a regular basis. It's not fun, but you have to do it.
Yeah.
And you read some books, educate yourself, have conversations with others that are interested in commercial. And I think our group is a good place to do that. We have a Facebook group where we publish every day of the week, and then we have the groups every 2 weeks where we have the mastermind. If you can join the mastermind, that's fantastic, because you have a group of people that are taking action, holding each other accountable, sitting in the hot seat and discussing what they're working on and getting insights from the others in the group. So yeah, I think these are overall some of the recommendations for getting started in commercial.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Touch as many people as you can, get out in there and mingle and just interact, read as much as you can, watch as many YouTube videos as you can, and then interact as much as you can. Just constantly immerse yourself in the world. That's the only way I learn. If I want to learn something new, I just fully immerse myself in that world. And that's, I'll do that for a month or two straight, exactly as I said. And if it turns out that once I get in there, I realize this isn't for me, then you've only spent a month. Go spend another month immersing yourself in a different world and find the one that fits you and go from there.
Yeah, and like Logan was saying, it can be daunting to identify your niche, but don't worry, pick one and become an expert in it. And then whatever, if it doesn't work out, it's okay. You'll find the next niche. And then, but a lot of the knowledge, like Logan was saying, is transferable. So a lot of the expertise you'll gain can be transferred to another area of real estate. So that's okay. It's not wasted time, just the opposite. You can build upon it.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. Good stuff.
Awesome. Okay, well, hopefully you guys will enjoy this video like we enjoyed doing it, and we look forward to seeing you in our group and to seeing you next week.